Small creatures move without fear. They forage openly, calling to one another. There is no sound of pursuit, no shadow stalking them. Yet something is watching, not to chase, but to be approached. This is not a predator that hides. This is one that makes you believe you are safe. In the quiet undergrowth of a dense forest, near the base of a moss-covered tree, a small shape rests in dappled sunlight. Its coat is green, patterned with lighter markings that mimic the play of light through leaves. The eyes are wide, round, non-threatening. The posture is calm, almost lazy. This is Sprigatito, and it does not look like a predator. The body is compact, barely a foot tall, built low to the ground with soft paws and a small, rounded face. There is no visible aggression in its expression, no tension in its limbs. To most creatures that pass by, it appears harmless, a young herbivore, perhaps, or simply part of the vegetation itself. This appearance is not accidental, it is survival. Sprigatito does not hunt through speed or strength. It does not stalk or chase. Instead, it waits in areas where prey Pokémon frequent, near water sources, berry patches, clearings where bugs gather. And it does nothing. It simply exists, calm and still, exuding a faint plant-like scent that blends seamlessly with the surrounding foliage. Curious creatures approach, a small Pokémons investigating the scent. They do not perceive Sprigatito as a threat. The coloration matches the environment. The posture suggests vulnerability, not danger. The lack of sudden movement reassures them. And Sprigatito waits. The strike, when it comes, is brief and decisive. A single pounce, faster than the prey can react, ending before fear even registers. There is no prolonged chase, no struggle. By the time the other creatures notice, Sprigatito has already retreated into the undergrowth, prey secured. This strategy is effective not because of physical dominance, but because of deception. Sprigatito has evolved to exploit a simple truth. Prey Pokémons survive by recognizing threats. If the threat does not appear threatening, it is ignored. But this is only the beginning. As Sprigatito matures, as its body changes, and its behaviors become more complex, the deception deepens. What begins as passive camouflage evolves into something far more deliberate. What emerges is no longer content to simply wait. It begins to manipulate. Florigato florphilis, the flowery feline. Florigato stands upright at just over 3 feet tall. Its posture no longer low and passive, but elevated and agile. The body has lengthened, limbs more muscular and built for rapid directional changes. The tail has thickened, providing balance during sudden pivots. And extending from one paw is a vine, flexible and firm, that moves with precision. This vine is not merely a tool for grasping. It is a weapon of misdirection. The vine extends like a natural whip, and at its tip sits a large flower bud, bright pink, visually distinct from the surrounding foliage. This bud serves no reproductive function. It exists solely to draw attention, to create a focal point that prey cannot help but track when the vine moves. Florigato hunts differently than Sprigatito. It does not wait for prey to approach. It positions itself where prey will move. Game trails, pathways between feeding zones, and then it acts. The vine flicks outward, not at the prey, but near it, with sharp, deliberate movement impossible to ignore, as prey animals instinctively lock their attention onto the motion. While the prey watches the vine, Floragato moves from a different angle, repositioning silently and exploiting the blind spot created by divided attention until it reaches striking range before the prey realizes the vine was never the real threat. The strategy becomes more refined over time. Floragato learns to vary the timing of the vine's movement, to use terrain and shadow to obscure its own position, to create patterns of distraction that prey cannot predict. Each hunt becomes a calculated manipulation of instinct. But even this is not the final form. The body continues to change. The behaviors continue to evolve. And what was once simple misdirection transforms into something far more sophisticated. What emerges is not just a hunter. It is a performer. And the performance is lethal. Meowscarada deceptiflora. The deceptive bloom. Meowscarada stands over 5 feet tall, its body lean and built for precision. The cape-like fur around its neck and shoulders has developed a reflective quality, capable of bending light in subtle ways. And in its paw it carries a floating green spherical bulb topped with a blooming pink flower. The reflective fur camouflages the connection between paw and bulb, creating an illusion that the flower is floating freely in midair. To prey, the bloom appears detached, drifting, a curiosity, not a threat. Attention locks onto the impossible sight. The hunting method is deliberate. Meowscarada positions the floating flower near prey, drawing focus, holding attention. The prey investigates, mesmerized by something that should not be possible. They do not notice Meowscarada approaching. They do not notice the bulb being placed. The bulb contains concentrated pollen under pressure. When triggered, it detonates, not with fire or force, but with a burst of pollen that disorients, overwhelms, incapacitates. By the time the prey realizes what has happened, Meowscarada has already struck. This is not misdirection. This is illusion. The prey does not simply look away. They believe they understand what they are seeing, and that belief is wrong. Meowscarada does not need to overpower. It does not need to outlast. It simply needs to ensure that when the moment of truth arrives, the prey is looking in the wrong direction. This is the apex of the evolutionary line. Where Sprigatito appeared harmless and Floragato controlled attention, Meowscarada controls perception itself. It does not hide from its prey. It hides within their understanding of what is happening. In this forest, the greatest danger is not what you cannot see. It is what you think you understand.